What's up, guys? Welcome to another Q&A. If you're new around here, as always, we're just taking them straight off Instagram stories. I'll post a prompt twice a week on my off days. Right now it's Wednesday and Sunday if you want to keep an eye out for them. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into this. First question up is, what level of conditioning will it take for you to be happy with your look next time on stage? First and foremost, I'll be the first one to say I don't think I've ever been close to what I'm capable of or, truly stage lean. That being said, I would love to have a level of conditioning to where it is the general consensus, both, through the judging and the people that I, place stock in when they look at me, saying I am truly fat-free and truly dry. I've never done either. I've been close to fat-free before, but nowhere near dry. And so this year I'd like to be truly fat-free and dry, and for that to be, the general feedback. I feel like that'd be a good indicator that my conditioning was where I both need it to be and want it to be. Okay, why did you choose a conventional deadlift instead of a stiff-legged deadlift? Two reasons. One, the conventional fits my body a lot more. I'm definitely still working through some mobility issues with my hamstrings. I have really tight hamstrings and hips in general. So, the stiff-legged deadlift didn't really lend itself as an exercise to have a lot of runway for me because, I'd get to the point where I'm using other things than my hamstrings because they are the weak link in the chain in terms of mobility, but not strength or from a physique standpoint. So I found pulling from the floor traditionally, stresses, the lower body musculature well, but I'm doing them mainly for a total back stimulus, and I feel pulling from the ground, achieves that a lot more through the upper back, especially than, a stiff-legged deadlift. So that's why. Leg day shoes. So for the longest time, I was, Vans gang till I die. That being said, developed some pretty bad plantar fasciitis last year and really started paying attention to my foot health. And if you have, any ankle, foot, knee, hip issues, and you haven't paid a lot of attention to your foot health, I really would encourage you to look into it because, everything starts with your feet. And a lot of people's issues are caused by their feet, a lot more than they think. So currently, my leg day shoes, I'm using a barefoot shoe from Zero Shoes. It's their Prio model. I'm going on my third pair with them. I'm not endorsed by them in any way, shape, or form. I've bought them all at full price, but I do absolutely love those shoes. So if you're looking for a good barefoot shoe to try, especially for leg training, the Zero Prios are a really good shoe. I definitely co-sign them. This is a good one. If you don't progress in a lift, you always match the reps. What would you do to get stronger? So if I am, stuck on a set and I've gotten the same amount of reps more than 2 sessions in a row, what I'm probably going to look to do is employ some kind of intensity technique or a plateau breaker, if you will, and that would probably be, in that case, a rest pause, doing it for as many reps as I can, which should be, a tie for, the amount of reps that I got that last week and the week before, taking 10 breaths, resting, 15-ish seconds, and then going as many as I can again, aiming to get, 3 or 4 more. Doing that a couple weeks in a row and then going back to, building that straight set. I'd venture a guess to say you'll probably be moving the first part of that rest pause for as many reps as you were total before. So that'd probably be what I would do in that specific scenario. This is a great one. What differentiates your training cycles, off-season, pre- and post-Olympia? Not a damn thing. What do I mean by that? So regardless of, the period of the year that I'm in, whether it's a contest prep, an off-season, a health phase, this, that, or another, I am still training the same way. Very much so logged progressive overload training. The only thing changing, is the load and the volume. So in the off season, obviously I'm stronger, I'm full of food, body fat's a little higher, the load will be a little higher, and the volume might be a little higher, although I'm very low volume even in the off season. As we go into prep, I fight tooth and nail to keep the poundages, the load the same. But as we get deep into that prep, the poundages will go down a little bit because obviously strength takes a dip. But the variable that I like to play with a little more is reducing the volume. So, like heading into a prep, I might be doing, 3 working sets on half the exercises I'm doing and then 2 on others. And, by the end of prep, I might be down to 2 on a lot of them, and even on leg days, like down to 1 on most of the exercises. So, yeah. All right. Next up. If you had to build a home gym and you only got 10 machines, what are you getting? Dude, 10 machines is like a whole gym. Rattling them off the top of my head, I would have a very nice power rack. I would have a Prime Prodigy rack. I would have a pendulum squat, a hack squat, and a leg press. I would have a Prime shoulder press, a Atlantis incline, a Cybex Smith, a set of dumbbells, one more, and a Nautilus pull down. There we go. That was a close one. I almost forgot my Nautilus pull down. Might need to actually, I'm going to take the leg press out, and then I'm going to add in the Prime row. There we go. That's my 10. All right, go a couple more, and then we'll get off this one. Oh, this one's good. This one has nothing to do with bodybuilding. Favorite AR-15 setup? The setup I've been shooting the most lately, and the one that I've been having a lot of fun getting more familiar with, is a Geisley Super Duty. It's a 14.5 with a Vortex. Hey, buddy. With a Vortex 1:8 on it with an offset RMR. It's my first low power variable optic on any weapon that I have, so I've been really enjoying, getting used to running that, and that's the gun I've been taking to the range with the most. All right, one more, and then we're gonna get out of here. Reverse dieting tips. This is a good one. So, whether you're reversing out of just a big cut or you're reversing out of an actual show, slow and steady wins the race. So whenever you're coming out of a cut or coming out of a show, your insulin sensitivity is at an all-time high. Your body is literally like a sponge that has been squoze out, and you are primed to explode and grow if you do things right. You're also primed to completely just like poo-poo on your metabolism and get super fat if you eat too much. So as you coasted into the show and landed the airplane in terms of body fat loss, we want to have a nice gradual takeoff out of it. We want to slowly add food back in week over week. We want to see the scale trending up, but honestly, if I had to put a number on it, by never more than 2 pounds a week. We want to keep our cardio in. You want to keep your water high. You want to keep all the habits that you've built to achieve that cut intact, and you want to just slowly add food back in and slowly pull back on variables keeping you lean, like your cardio or your steps or certain supplements, and then see what happens as you slowly pull back and you're able to really feather the adjustment from there. You're able to really grow without getting sloppy fat, and that's what we always want to do. So with that, I got to do this one. We'll end on this one. This is a good one. How to get over the mental aspect of bulking. So first and foremost, you should never be over 14% body fat if you're a male and consider yourself a serious bodybuilder. At 14% body fat, you should still have like capped shoulders, be able to kind of see your abs. You should look like a seriously trained individual. So, you should never be like, oh my God, I am so fat. Like, yes, you're not walking around peeled, but you should never let yourself be walking around like a fat slob. If you are, put some cardio back in and get in shape. That being said, how do I deal with, the mental aspect of bulking? I personally have never had an issue with it, but I know a lot of people that have. And the best ones that have, that issue with, like the body image of putting on some body fat, they're able to think of things as a marathon, not a sprint. They know that in order to succeed weeks or months or even years from now and to be able to do what they want to do on stage or to have that dream body of theirs, they have to put on body fat in order to accrue muscle tissue in an off-season setting. So they are biting the bullet and they are doing what they know they need to be successful at a future date by doing something that makes them uncomfortable in the present. And at the end of the day, that's life. You got to do what makes you uncomfortable to get something that you want. So, on that note, I will see you all next Friday. Thanks for getting those questions in. If you didn't get your question answered this week, be sure to keep an eye out on my stories. Right now, we're posting them every Wednesday and Sunday to do the Q&As. I'll see you all next time.